Hello and welcome back, everybody, to a new live stream. So it is Monday, the 24th of Jan, and I am just going to quickly plug my computer in. There we go, all plugged in. We're all good. Sorry, Jan. I said January. Why did I say January? It's June. So it's, yeah. Wow, very, very far back there. Yeah, Monday, the 24th of June. And yeah, of course, we are going to today take a look at the Bitcoin technical analysis. We are going to go through what is happening within the charts at this moment in time, what we can expect, and yeah, what sort of like next trades we can kind of look for, really, because yeah, this hasn't been, I have attempted to take some trades on this as price has been going down, okay, but yeah, I've taken a couple long trades, right, and they haven't worked out, and yeah, it's just not very nice price action to be trading this, to be honest with you. So yeah, I am kind of now just waiting for the bigger levels. I've been taking trades on smaller time frames. I tried a short trade as well, which the idea was there. I had the right idea, but then price just took the high one more time, and then we got the price pulling back. Okay, so initially just missed out on the price action towards the downside, but right, we have now taken out $60,000 again. Okay, we have now taken out $60,000 again, and we are just flirting with that level. We are flirting with the level, and I mean, if we lose this level, okay, if we lose this level, for me, it's just like strengthening that confidence in that target that I have of about $56,400. So yeah, of course, that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. So yeah, of course, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, and if you are new, subscribe, turn the bell notification on so you never miss another upload. And yeah, we will jump straight on into the analysis, right? So yeah, what I want to start off with is, let's bring up the fixed range, okay? Because we've lost some really, really important levels, right? So first of all was the POC, okay? The POC was like that first sign of weakness, okay? We lost that, as you can see here. We had a slight deviation of it, but we lost it here, retested as resistance, rejection. Retested as resistance, big rejection here, okay? And then what actually happened is we came all the way down to the value area low, where we found a little bit of support, okay, and I actually took a long trade from down here. I did actually take a long trade from down here, and that did end up in a very slight profit. So yeah, if we take a look at this here, so yeah, I did take a TP1 on that as we were coming into the weekend. But yeah, it was almost a break-even trade. It was like $200 in a profit on that trade. So yeah, wasn't anything crazy whatsoever, to be honest with you. But yeah, I attempted the long from there. Okay, we had a little bounce towards the upside, nothing too crazy. Yeah, decided to take a TP1 coming into the weekend. And yeah, as you can see, that was the right idea, right? So yeah, we've seen a pullback from there, pretty well over the course of today, well, last night and today, right? We've seen a pretty hefty pullback within Bitcoin, and yeah, so it's not looking too good, right? Not looking too good whatsoever. So yeah, we have lost pretty much all major support. We do now have this level coming in at $60,102. So this is a pretty critical level for us at this moment in time. As we can see, we are just like flirting with that level, like I said at the start. Okay, just like bouncing off of it as of right now. Um, let's have a look at the order flow. What's happening on the order flow? Yeah, so we're not seeing anything crazy come in, to be fair. Yeah, I mean a lot of what is going on at the moment is we had a lot of shorts coming in here. Starting to see some longs coming in. A lot of longs have been wiped out here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, a lot of this move down has been fueled by longs getting stopped out, getting liquidated, getting wrecked, right? Um, so we can see that on this move down here. We can see it on this big move down here. We can see it on, yeah. So we can see on a lot of this move down that we're just seeing these longs getting wrecked. And then, you can see some longs coming in here. But yeah, ultimately, we are starting to see. We are starting. Yeah, it's not. There's just nothing too exciting going on, to be honest. Um, I mean, in the order flow, of course, we're getting this nice big pullback. But yeah, on the order flow, there's just nothing really for me. But yeah, I mean, this level here is going to be that next kind of like critical support. To be honest, let's just have a look at the naked point of control. Okay, so we lost that. Mm. Get rid of those. So yeah, this is kind of like that last bit of support before we are looking for 56 400 approximately. I mean, if we can hold this level, then yes, all right, we can see a little bounce up. But at this moment in time, I'm still kind of just. I just prefer that move to 56 400. I do kind of just prefer that move, to be honest. We've got lots of shorts coming in here, 70 million shorts in there. And this is a pretty 7 million shorts coming in now. Yeah, I still prefer to be honest, I still prefer the move down to 56,400. I understand we could get a long trade from here. We could, see a nice bounce from here. But even if we did see a bounce from here, I still think 56,400 is that realistic target. And I mean that's where I'm looking for that big long trade, right? That's where I'm looking for the highest probability long trade setup. Because I understand here, okay, everybody is getting emotional, everybody is getting fearful. And we come down to this level, we start to break down. We understand that retail traders are going to be just shorting the hell out of this. And that's where I would expect these institutions to be buying up. That's where I'd be expecting these institutions to be buying up. And of course, we can visibly see when those institutions are actually buying up as well, right? On the pullback, okay, to 56,400. If price pulls back here, okay, we dip below it, we start to see some absorption, okay, which is those big institutions that are absorbing all of this selling pressure. And what I mean by absorption is that as price is pulling back, we're seeing, lots of shorts opening up, and then price starts to reverse, even though lots of shorts are opening up here, telling us, right, that there are big institutions, there's a big trader or traders that are absorbing all of the selling pressure into the level. Okay, price starts to rise, right? And initially those institutions buying are pushing that price higher because they've absorbed it all. And then what actually is the catalyst for the move is that when all of the shorts here are trapped, okay, who shorted the low, when all of those are trapped, okay, of course they're going to have to cover. When they cover, they have to buy back into the market. And that's like the catalyst which will push that price higher most likely. Okay, and remember, but by doing that, okay, we will have completed this bearish Elliott wave count, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are now coming down for 5. For the completion of 5, we need to break below wave 3. Once wave 5 has been completed, and let's say we possibly get a long trade set up here, okay, then we're looking for that ABC correction, okay, so we can take full advantage of that rise towards the upside if we get the long trade set up here. Of course, if we don't see a long trade set up from here, okay, then I'm thinking, okay, right, we're probably going to come down a bit lower to maybe 51,700. Maybe we can get the long trade set up from there. Okay, of course, I don't know where I will possibly take the long trade for. I just wait and remain patient and wait for that long trade to present itself to me. Once that long trade does present itself to me, I will take it. Okay, and that is like the highest probability long trade setup. Okay, that's when I will put like regular capital into a trade, because throughout all of this internal price action that we've had here, okay, all of this internal price action, every trade that I've taken has been on lower capital than usual, just because I understand that these are lower probability trades in comparison to this possible long trade setup here or this possible short trade setup here. So yeah, these are where I'll enter with like my regular amount of capital. SFP 54K, everybody is going to be selling, is going to sell long from 54. Yeah, that's kind of the plan. Of course, it's not like set in stone that I'm going to long. SFP 54. You're saying 54, sorry. Yeah, I mean, we could come down to 54, yeah. Yeah, that's a possibility. Like, we could come down to 54. To be honest, I don't know how far down. We could literally take it out by $1. We could, come all the way down to 54 and then back up. But yeah, this is kind of the level that I'm looking for the long trade, right? And it's not set in stone that I'm going to long this, right? It's not like I'm not definitely going to long this. Of course, I want to see what I need to see at the level. Of course, I want to see, ideally, right, I want to see lots of shorts opening up. Okay, if I see lots of shorts opening up, and then price starts to form an SFP or price starts to form a failed auction, okay, whatever it may be, that's when I start to look for the long trade. Yeah, there is the aggressive entry that you could long when you start to see all of the shorts open up, but that's a little bit too aggressive for me. I like to just wait. I wait for a little bit of confirmation. Okay, I don't wait for like a market structure change or any of the textbook things that people kind of look for. Because how I feel is if you're waiting for too much confirmation, you are like you are increasing the risk and reducing the reward, right? You're increasing the risk and reducing the reward that you can get out of the trade if you're waiting for too much confirmation. So yeah, I mean, there's also the aggressive entry is just when you see people shorting or just aggressive shorting, that's when you could possibly long. For me, I'd like to wait for like a failed auction, just looking out for those trapped traders. Once I see the trapped traders, then I'm happy to take the long because then I know, right, they're trapped, they're emotional, they're probably going to have to cover. So yeah, I like to just wait for that because I mean, if you get strong shorting into this level initially, right, that is bearish and it could continue, right? It could continue, shorting in like lots of shorts coming into the level. Okay, it could, it could continue lower, right? It's only when I see the shorts actually becoming trapped that's when I'm looking for that sign of strength, right? Long trade possibly. More comments. Yeah, Damien, good to see you back. Loads of volume, and everybody is going to be scared at the 56.54. Exactly, right? Exactly. Everybody's going to be scared. Everybody is going to be scared here, right? What we're seeing, what we're going to start seeing is just FOMO shorting, right? A lot of people are also going to be looking at this as a parallel channel, which it is. Okay, but they're going to be looking for a breakdown of the parallel channel if price starts to lose this. Right? They're going to start to look for that. But if the institutions, okay, are absorbing all of that, they push the price higher, then everybody that's shorted here, and a lot of the market will most likely short here. Whether price continues lower or it does reverse, okay? Either way, I would expect lots of retail traders to be shorting this, right? Lots of retail traders to be shorting this. Just because I understand how retail traders work, right? That's just what they're going to be doing. Exactly like up here, right? We got, I can't remember the exact number. It was like 75, 79 million long trades coming in, and all of these retail traders were expecting all-time high. That's what they were expecting. They didn't get it, right? They didn't get it. They got completely wrecked. And that's kind of what you could expect here, right? You could expect retail traders expecting a breakdown, okay, and then expecting much lower prices on a possible break of the level, okay, but then price starts to reverse in the opposite direction, okay, they become trapped, pushing the price higher. So they're going to be incredibly scared there. You're going to start seeing, well, first of all, you're going to start seeing FOMO shorts, okay, and then you're going to start seeing the breakout traders shorting the breakdown possibly. 100%. Too many confirmations gives you a weak position when entering into the market. Exactly. I like to consider myself as like an aggressive trader. I'm confident taking like an aggressive approach, not a super aggressive approach, okay? Because we have to understand, like we can read data and we can put the jigsaw puzzle together, and we can kind of like figure out where the institutions are buying. Okay, we can kind of figure it out, right? And especially on especially on the higher time frames as well. It's a lot easier to do it on the higher time frames, which is why recently I've been loving trading this 8 hour. Okay, because it's just been like so easy to predict. Whereas when you go into the lower time frames, yeah, it is. You know, you can predict the market really well, but you have to understand as well that the probabilities as you go deeper into the time frames, okay, the lower the time frame you go, you are going to encounter more losses. Yeah, like I said, the lower the time frame that you go, because you have to understand, right? These big institutions, they're not really looking, they're not looking at 5 minute time frames, 15-minute time frames. You know, I'd say they're looking at anything above like the 30-minute time frame. But even so, like the 30 minute, the 1 hour, you know, you just don't really expect them to be looking at those time frames. You expect them to be looking at the higher time frames, like the 8, the 12, the daily, because you know these big institutions, these big traders are not looking to be in and out of a trade in a day or in and out of a trade in a week. They're looking to open up these trades and hold these trades for a series of weeks, a series of months. Okay, so it is a lot easier to predict it on the higher time frames, which is especially like it's why I much prefer swing trading as well. It's another reason why I much prefer swing trading rather than day trading. Um, because yeah, it's much easier, in my opinion anyway. It's much easier to predict what is going on. But yeah, what institutions do, of course, is they have their limit orders, okay, and they have their limit orders sat at a level, okay, but we can't visibly see where their limit orders are. So an aggressive entry is kind of like a super aggressive entry is kind of just predicting, or like what's the word? It's just guessing, okay, guessing where their limit orders are, putting a limit order there yourself, okay, but then you're a little bit stuck with your stop loss. It's like, where do you put your stop loss? Um, so for me, what I like to look for is I like to look for just that like little bit of confirmation, okay, which I consider as like an aggressive entry, which is, let's have a look here. For this as an example, right? Again, going back to this, we had like 79 million new long trades coming in here, okay? But price failed, okay? Price failed to continue higher, right? So what we understood here is that there's a big institutional player that has a big sell order here, okay? And they probably had another sell order at all-time high, okay? But this first sell order that they had was enough to absorb all of the long trades here, okay? After absorbing all of the long trades, there was no more long trades to come in. Okay, so price starts to pull back, and then all of the people that are long at the high start to cover, pushing the price lower. Okay, so this is kind of like, this is kind of the aggressive entry is like putting that short limit order at the level, okay, where you guess the institution to have their order. But for me, I'd rather wait for a little bit of confirmation, like that swing failure pattern that we saw there, or like a failed auction, because then I know and I can visibly see, okay, this many long trades are at the high, this many long trades are underwater, this many long trades are emotional, right? And it's most likely going to, we're most likely going to see price move lower, and it's like a domino effect. Okay, you start to see some long trades cover, pushing the price lower. Then as that price gets lower, more long trades cover, and they cover, and it's just like a domino effect of long trades covering. And that's why you tend to see like a weak move down, okay, because, well, initially for like the start of the move anyway, you start to see a weak move down because you understand that they're just long trades that are having to cover, right? That's exactly what it is. If you get a trend fib and pull from 74 to 57, then 72, you get a 1-to-1 ratio at the $55,700. What a beauty, big ABC correction. Yeah, let's have a look at that. So if we get a trend fib. So are you talking about an extension? Where's my... Yeah. So if you pull 74K to 57, to 57, And then 72, which of course is this high here. $55,700. Okay, my one-to-one's coming in a little bit lower than that, but maybe we're looking at different. Oh wait, hang on. Have I pulled that at the high? Mine's coming at 54,500, but maybe we're looking at different exchanges. Yeah, mine's coming in a little bit lower. So yeah, we're probably looking at different exchanges here. But yeah, exactly right. We've got the one-to-one extension coming in there. So that's just going to be like more confluence, right? We could probably see price tap that, then we start to see the failed auction. Okay, perfect. Yeah, different. Yeah, so 54,700 on Bybit. Yeah, that's just more confluence, right? And I wouldn't be opposed to that scenario whatsoever. I do think that we could see a big dip below the level, coming down to that one-to-one, and again, that would just give us more, confidence on that, really, wouldn't it? And I mean, that could even offer like a smaller time frame entry as well. So I could look for like a smaller time frame entry there, then add to the trade on a possible failed auction, okay, where I have a little bit more confirmation, okay, a little bit more strength and a little bit more information, and confidence, knowing that there are lots of shorts trapped. So thank you for pointing that out. That's exactly a really, really good level that we can be interested in, because even though let's see, so these two levels are $2,000 apart, right? So there's $2,000 in between these two levels, but I'd still consider these two levels in close confluence. I would still consider that, because I'm looking at this as a failed auction or a swing failure pattern, and I know that we could see a big failed auction like that. So for me, that is close confluence. It would be a little bit different if I was looking at like a fib level. Of course, I'm looking at a fib level with this one-to-one, but say I was looking at like a GP level and I was trying to like line it up with another level. I kind of want those levels to be in line with each other, but there's $2,000 gap in between here. But I understand, right? A failed auction, we break down, we get acceptance above, right? We can break down, find support of the one-to-one, and then we get the reclaim, okay, and then we get the long trade. So yeah, that's a really nice level. I'll keep that on my charts actually. I will keep that on my charts. And then, right, if we are, let's have a look for any more confluence, right? So that's quite a nice confluence down there. So of course we have the POC at 51,700, which it's right. Let's say we do lose this, and it is getting quite bearish. Then 51,700 is my next like major level of support, because we've got a monthly naked point of control in confluence with the POC from this mini range that we had here. So yeah, I like the confluence that we have there. If we start to lose that, okay, say we start to lose that, we have naked point of controls here, not really interested in those dailies. But then we come into the 1.618 with on the fib extension with a weekly naked point of control and the POC from the range that we had here. So there's nice confluence there for a possible long trade as well. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, right? We're very far away from that. So yeah, I don't want you to think I'm getting extremely bearish, because that's exactly, that's exactly what I'm not doing, right? I'm not getting extremely bearish. Um, because the trade setup I'm looking for is, of course, that long trade from there. Um, but yeah, I just have to be aware of that, right? If we start to lose this, we could go down quite a lot. We could see quite a lot of pain within the market. So we have to just be aware of that. What's ES? Is that pulling back? Slight pullback. The ES has just been on a roll recently, just non-stop, up, up, up. Bit of a pullback here, up, up, up. Minuscule pullback here, up, 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 up. So we are. Let's see. We're coming into that 786 here now as well. And we do have absorption into this level. We do have absorption into the level, but I'm just not really interested in a long trade there. Yeah, just looking at yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's always good to draw out scenarios. Always good to look at different possibilities, different opportunities. That's what I like to do. I just draw out a load of them, um, and I will trade whichever one plays out. Right? If we see a long trade at a higher level rather than if we see a long trade set up at a higher level, i.e., let's just use these POCs as an example, right? If I see a long trade set up from here, okay, then I will trade this one, right? But if I understand, okay, we don't get the long trade set up here, we come lower, right? Possibly I see the long trade set up here. If I don't see it there, right, then I'm just looking at the next one, right? So I'm drawing out scenarios, right? I know levels that I'm interested in taking longs from. And it's just a matter of whichever one is looking best for that long trade, right? For me, it's still this level. And I still don't think the bull market is over. I still don't think it's over. I think we can very quickly shift in direction, right? We are looking, of course, very bearish at this moment in time. We're in bearish market structure, right? But we have to kind of look at it in a positive way, right? We're coming to the end of this bearish count. Okay, we're coming to the end of the bearish count, which is actually a slight sign of bullishness, right? It is a slight sign of bullishness because after, right, we see wave 5 end, we get the ABC correction. Okay, we get that ABC correction. But not only are we looking at this as, a bearish count to then possibly go into an ABC correction, we're also looking at this as, right, a range. Okay, we have a really nice range here as well. So when you go to range low, what are you expecting, right? You're expecting to go up to mid-range. You're expecting to then go range high, which in Confluence is all-time high, right? So if you get above the mid-range, you're then looking for all-time high. So again, right, I'm not getting incredibly bearish here, right? I'm looking at this move as a really, really good longing opportunity. Once I, the level at which I do start to get a bit more bearish is if we lose, okay, this range low. If we lose the range low, then I'm looking at like $71,700, where, I mean, yes, I can look for a long trade here, but I don't consider it like an incredibly strong level. Yes, if I see the setup, I will take a setup, but I don't consider it as an incredibly strong level. It's quite hard to look at this move up and say, right, there are major levels of support here. To be honest, like the next major level would be like the $43,000 level. That's much, much stronger support in my eyes than 51,700 because that was only a little mini range. But this, there was a lot of volume here. Okay, so I consider this as like a stronger level than this level here. Losing this range, okay, and like, I mean, a clear break. Of course, like we could get a swing value pattern, we could get a failed auction of it. Yeah, for me, that's not bearish, okay? Like the initial breakdown isn't bearish. It's just that follow through, that if we get the follow through, that's when it's like pretty bearish, okay? We start to lose POC here. Again, right? That's where I get, okay, right, this is getting quite bearish now. This is getting quite bearish because there's just no support really on this move up. But between 51,700 and 43,000, there just isn't really any. You can consider like 49,000 as support possibly, but there's just like no major level of support. I mean, yeah, you could consider, what are we looking at here? You could also consider like $49,100 as support as well. But again, it's not like major support. It's not major support. But yeah, we don't need to get ahead of ourselves, right? I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I understand the first trade setup that I'm looking for, and that would be a failed auction of this. Other than that, I'm not really interested in anything else. Of course, we're flirting with this level here. But that's like this morning, right? When we were flirting with the monthly level here, right? We've now taken out that month. Well, we haven't confirmed the breakdown really, but we're now below that monthly level. So we're now just flirting with this level. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, again, I still like this Elliott wave to be completed, and then I'll look for the long. Yeah, I think just need more flush out depending on the speed of the candle at 55 level. I still think 74 is still in play towards the end of the year. Yeah, definitely. I still think that we could go to all-time high. This is how you've got to see it, right? There's no major signs of bearishness on the charts right now. I don't see it. Okay, I don't see any major sign of bearishness. Okay, what I kind of see is strength, because what we're doing is we're actually building value above like the previous all-time highs, right? We're building value above those. I mean, yeah, I guess let's get rid of these. The only other thing that I was looking at, a few weeks ago, right? I've been looking at it for a while, okay? Ever since we formed the swing failure pattern, ever since we formed the failed auction. Come here. My dog is deciding to dig a hole in my carpet. Come here. Come. He's just staring at me like an idiot. But yeah, so the only... the only like major sign of bearishness that I see at this moment in time is that, yes, right, okay, we've actually swing failure pattern / failed auction, however you want to look at it, all-time high. We have, right? We have done that. What have we done? We've come back tested it, rejection. That's kind of like the only big sign of weakness that I can see in the market right now. But other than that, and like you can consider this like a double top as well. But yeah, again, it's just like I don't have anything. Yeah, just like screaming bearishness at me at this moment in time. Yes, if this was on the 8-hour chart, I would have. I shorted this anyway. I did take a short from this anyway, not based off of this chart, but off of a smaller time frame setup. Okay, so I was still short from up here, but I just don't see this as, it is weakness, but I don't see it as any major sign of weakness yet, because I understand, right? If we're looking a little bit more locally, yes, we've got the bearish market structure, but we're looking at this as bearish Elliott wave, right? Then we're looking for that ABC correction, and I understand that ABC correction, and we have strong support here. Okay, we do have strong support here. And if we do see lots of shorts opening up here, right, we're going to go in the opposite direction most likely. Okay, we are going to go in the opposite direction most likely. So for me, I still think the all-time high again, $54,000. I still think it's on the cards. It's kind of when we start to lose, like I said, like $56,400. That's when I start to get right. Okay, this is quite bearish, right? This is $40,000 territory. This is possibly, I hate to say it, but like $15,000 territory. Okay, of course I'm getting too ahead of myself there, so don't take my word for it, right? Because of course we have to lose the mid range first before we can even consider this. Okay, but that's a possibility, right? It's just simple range trading here, isn't it? Okay, if we start to lose this level at 56,400. The next major level of support, we do have $51,700, but it's not major level, I don't consider. The next major level of support is the POC, okay, at, what was it, $43,000. Let's bring it up again, okay? And look where that comes in confluence with. It comes in confluence with the mid-range of the parallel channel, right? So for me, it's like, this is the major level of support if we do lose 56,400. That's the major level. Of course, we could find support at 51,700. Of course, yes. Okay, but this is the major level. But this major level is also it's the line in the sand, right? Which is like, if we lose that, all hell breaks loose in my eyes. And we have a lot of people out there saying we're never going to see a $30,000 Bitcoin. We may never see that, okay? But if we start to lose this level, that's when I'm kind of thinking, right, there's just no support here, right? There's no support here, and it's just going to be a catalyst of long trades getting completely wiped out, okay? Anybody that's still long from down here, right, they're just going to get completely wiped out on that move down. Okay, and there are going to still be a lot of long trades opened up from here. Okay, there are still going to be a lot of long trades, right? It's kind of when we get down to this level here, like $28,000, right? That's where I'm looking for that next major level of support, because that's where we have a little range as well, right? So we have the POC there. We can actually drag another POC, right, at $28,000. Okay. I know this is, I'm looking way too far ahead in the future, and it's something that is, most probably, it could happen, yeah, but probabilities right now say that this isn't going to happen. But yeah, again, it's just drawing out scenarios, right? If we lose the mid range here, I don't see why not. Okay, I don't see why we don't come down here. Okay, that's kind of the next major level of support. We lose that, then it's like $15,000. So yeah, I'm always prepared for every scenario, and I have a lot of, I have a large chunk of my portfolio in USDT at this moment in time, and I did actually take a large portion out of my Bitcoin HODL portfolio at the all-time high. I have, cashed out a lot. And not necessarily cashing out to go splash out. That's not how I see. I'm looking at this as a long time thing, right? I'm not cashing out here to splash out and buy the nice cars, buy, the nice houses. That's not what my goal here is, right? Right. My goal is to capitalize as much as possible. Okay, as much as possible. So, of course, I've taken some out for myself, just to enjoy myself a little bit, right? But the majority of the my HODL portfolio, okay, that I've taken out here, is sat in USDT, and it is waiting for this pullback that we are seeing now, right? If we see a much bigger pullback, okay, then of course I'm going to be looking to actually add back in to my Bitcoin HODL portfolio, right? That's what I'm looking to do. Of course, I'll be putting it in. I'll be putting some into Ethereum as well, but I still hold a large chunk of my portfolio in Bitcoin, just because I believe that Bitcoin is going to be one of the biggest stores of value in the future, and this is now coming to like fundamentals, and I kind of only look at I kind of go off of my HODL portfolio with fundamentals, because of course, that's the longevity side of things, right? Of course, we want the fundamentals to be good for that longevity within Bitcoin, right? If the fundamentals aren't good, then there's no point of holding it. Okay. Of course, the technicals are always going to be good because you can just trade the technicals. Okay. But with the fundamentals, I myself, I don't trade the fundamentals. Of course, you do see people trading the fundamentals, but even so, even people trading the fundamentals, they're looking at these bigger trades that are going to be held over a long period of time, right? So for me, like I'm acknowledging these signs of weakness up here. This was just like a take profit point for me anyway on my HODL portfolio, because on this move down, right, I was buying. At like $15,000, right, and I'll show you the exact reason why. Okay, but at $15,000, I bought the most amount of Bitcoin I'd ever bought in my life. Okay, I got into crypto, or I got into Bitcoin, let's say, because I mainly focus on Bitcoin, and then I'll dabble into Ethereum when I'm trading the dominance. Okay, the Ethereum versus Bitcoin. But I got in. Where were we? It was March 2020. So it was the COVID dump here. Okay, I got in at around, I'd say like $5,000-6,000. That's where I actually got in. Okay, and it was kind of like pure luck. Okay, but I did make a lot of money on this move up, a lot of money, and I'd say I made too much money for how new I was. I knew I was into the market, okay, because I had zero experience here. I dabbled in trading the stock market, okay, but I made too much money for the knowledge that I had here, okay, and then I lost a lot of money up here, right? I lost a lot of money up here, okay, on this move down. But I think I do believe I took a break on this move down, and I was like, right, okay, we're gonna come down. I'll buy back. I'll buy some more when we come down, okay, and then I mean I made some nice money on this move up, but when I was trading, right, where I made the most money was actually on this move down. Okay, I actually made the most. Well, I probably made the most money on this rise up, but I made money with knowledge. Okay, with actually having the understanding of how markets work and having the understanding of when to enter a trade on this move down. Okay, so I mean like that's when I got in, but my biggest purchase was at like $15,000, and I was going to show you why. And that was because I look at this thing here, and this is what I look for like my long term HODL portfolios. Right, it's WoobleCharts, okay, .com. It's on WoobleCharts.com. It's called the BTC price model, and it is absolutely amazing. Right, it's a little bit annoying to use. I don't like how it does that. You have to change to that pan. Okay, but here, right, you have this C. Let's just get rid of these. Let's get rid of these for now. Okay, so we're looking at two lines here. We're looking at the CVDD floor, okay, and then we're looking at it's called a top indicator. And if you want access to it, it's just literally WoobleCharts.com. It's completely free. And then you've got the CVDD floor here, which is the cumulative value days destroyed, which has historically picked the bottom of the market. Okay, it works off of the theory that when significantly old coins, say like the bought at $10, pass to new investors, okay, that bought at, for example, like $10,000, the market perceives a like higher floor. Okay, so ultimately, right, it's kind of, and it's done it very, very well, right? It's predicted bottoms of pretty much every single bear market, not to the dollar, okay, but very, very close. Okay, very close. You can see back here in 2011, November 2011, right? I was what was I? I was like 12 years old at this time, right? So I had no idea of what Bitcoin even was, right? But here, we front run it slightly, but it pretty much predicted the bottom of the bear market, right? We also had the top here, perfect. This top indicator perfectly predicted the top. Again, here, you've got the top, huge rejection after tapping it. The top, huge rejection after tapping it. Okay, but back here, right, 2015, right, we got a slight deviation of the level. We tapped it pretty much perfectly, right? We tapped it pretty much perfectly. It was the bottom of the bear market, right? It was the bottom of the bear market, 2015, $172. Okay, $172, where you got a huge move all the way up. Where to? Well, to the top, right? Up here at $19,755. Okay, it front run it slightly, but it gives you like a rough zone. Okay, again, you never look at a level as an exact dollar level, you look at it as a zone, right? And then, of course, here you had 2018, December 2018. You didn't tap it, right? But it was very, very close. It was predicting the floor to be at 3,175. The floor was at 3,237, right? So it was very close, right? Very, very close, right? You saw a move up, okay, back down. Okay, here was the COVID crash, right? This is where I was getting in, okay, because I had no job, right? Got let go from the job. I didn't know what to do. So yeah, I just invested pretty much everything I had, my savings, everything I had. I just went all in. I was like, what am I going to do? I'm stuck here. I've got no job. It was really hard to find a job as well. Really hard to find a job. So yeah, I got in here and I didn't acknowledge this here. Okay. But where did we come all the way up to? Right. Here is when it slightly deviates, right? Because it was kind of predicting like a $130 Bitcoin, and everybody was expecting $130 Bitcoin, but we didn't get it. We didn't get that. So yeah, from there we saw price pull back. But here, this is where I bought the most Bitcoin that I've ever bought in my life, right? And it was actually on this first move down, okay, not the second move down here, right? I bought the most I've ever bought on this first move down here at it was like 15. I can't remember the exact dollar level that I bought in, but it was around like $16,000. But yeah, you can see it was predicting the floor at $15,800 here. Okay, and the floor was at 15,863. We've got to move up. Then we came down, okay, all the way down to 15,797, right? Perfectly bounced off of that level. Of course, we're in the bull market now, right? It's actually predicting the top of the bull market to be $374,000. No, no. As much as I want it to be, I just don't see it, right? It's too, yeah. So for me, like the top is kind of a little bit irrelevant now. Maybe one day we will see us actually reach the top again, okay? But I think that's a little bit irrelevant. But at this moment in time, right, 1, 2, 3, 4 times we've perfectly used this as support, right? And it is perfectly, offered buying opportunities, right? Perfectly offered buying opportunities. So, yeah, this is kind of something that I will be looking at, okay? And, maybe we can start to look at this as confluence, okay? Maybe if we do come down to, where was I looking at the mid-range, right? We're on this one here. Maybe if we come down to, yeah. I was going to say, maybe if we come down to like $42,000, we could see this CVDD floor come up to it. I don't really know. We'll have to see, right? Let's just refresh it, make sure it's completely up to date. Yeah, I don't really know, but yeah, again, this is kind of like I don't know whether it's going to come up to that level. But yeah, it's like that's something that I'm going to be looking at again. I will probably buy more Bitcoin here, okay, wherever the next CVDD floor is. I'll probably buy more Bitcoin than I bought back here. And back here, I bought a lot of Bitcoin, okay? Again, like I said, it was my biggest purchase of Bitcoin. So, again, right, because I've taken advantage of this move up and I've taken profit here, okay, now I have, made some really nice profits and I have, more capital now to enter into when we now tap the CVDD floor again. So that's kind of like what my long-term portfolio plan is based off, right? It's based off of this. Yeah, nothing too technical really. But yeah, of course, like my more intraday swing trades are, of course, looking at the lower time frames, right? And looking at the charts. Damien said, awesome chart. Yeah, it is an amazing chart. It is amazing. And I mean, it's just worked perfectly. So, if something works, right, it's just rinse and repeat. Okay. Unfortunately, I wasn't in crypto in 2018 to take advantage of this. Unfortunately, I wasn't in 2015 or 2011, right? But, I used this in 2022. And I will use this again in the future. Okay, I will use this until this does not work. So yeah, I mean, are there any other questions? Anybody got any more questions? I'll be happy to answer any more. I just understand we're coming to. Only the top indicator that works very well, accurate. The PI cycle, yes. I'm pretty sure I do have this loaded up somewhere. Yeah, here we go. No. That doesn't look. Yeah, I mean, I think I can't. I haven't used this in a very long time. I don't know if this is the right one because from what I can remember, I was looking at one. I'm thinking of one that looks a little bit different, to be honest with you. But yeah, even for like long-term hodl portfolios, just looking at something so simple like a PI cycle here gives you just a really good indication of like when to buy, right? When to buy for like long-term investments, right? Of course, you're looking at this as like long-term investments. You're not. Oh yeah. There's yeah. Sorry, that's why. Right. So this is just the bottom, yeah, and then there's a top. Okay, maybe that's. Yeah, like I said, I haven't looked at this in a very long time. No, that's not. I can't remember the one that I was looking at. I did used to have a really good one. I thought I would have started, but no, I can't really remember, to be honest. Yeah, but I do understand. Like those are really good. Hidden gem, my friend. Yeah, yeah. Those are really good for like the long term hodl portfolios. They are really really good um, for just literally long term hodl portfolio. It is the regression channel. Exactly. I kind of want to find the one that I previously used. But yeah, I'm going to spend ages trying to find it, and I probably won't even find it. Yeah, no, yeah. Again, it is really really good. I did previously used to look at it, but once I found the BTC price models, it was kind of like I was sold on this. Um, but yeah, again, these things are only useful for like long term investments, right? Which I mean, they're amazing for long term investments, right? If you're only looking um, to look for long term investments, you're not looking to actually become a trader. Then of course, looking at simple indicators like that are very good, right? They are very good. Anyway, yeah, I will probably leave the live stream there. So just quickly, right? Let's bring up. Um, where are we? Where are we here? Let's bring up. We got the. Yeah, I mean, okay, so if we're going to lose this level here, right? Again, it's like $56,400. That's it for me, right? This is that last line in the sand. If we lose that 56,400, okay, where we can look for that wave five to be completed. Once the wave five has been completed, I can look for the long trade, and we can possibly trade that back up to maybe mid range at 65,000, possibly even all time high. So that's kind of the scenario that I'm waiting patiently for. So yeah, it's kind of just waiting patiently and waiting for that, right? So yeah, I think I'm going to leave the live stream there. Yeah, we've been live for an hour. I do need to take my dog on a walk, and it's been very hot today, so I have left it for the evening because, yeah, of course, it's not nice for him to be out in the heat. So yeah, I'm going to go and do that. So yeah, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, guys. Thank you very much for joining. Damien, always good to see you here. Thank you very much for joining and putting your input in as well. It's always good to hear people's opinions as well. So yeah, thank you very much for that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, or for any visionary members, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the Discord, of course. If you want access to all my trades, the education for like XO charts, then that's the first link in the description. Or if you just want the free Discord, that's the second link in the description as well. So yeah, have a lovely day, rest of your day. I will see you soon.